Hey guys, my name's Austin. I did a poll on Facebook to see if you guys wanted me to start a YouTube channel. I got some pretty good feedback on that. Some support from some cool guys helping me out with doing this. Billy Hoskinson gave me a lot of advice over what I needed to buy and what's the best way to go over things. So I appreciate that. I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of, this is our shop. This is me and my dad's shop. He does all the work to JJ's cars and any of the other Memphis guys, well, that's as of now. I'll give you some backstory. So when I was a kid growing up, I got put in the racing scene at an early age. My dad, he was working on cars, driving cars since he was 15 or 16. He actually drove JJ's heifer when he was 16 years old. So of course JJ was a little older. But that car's been around for that long, and my dad's been racing forever. So I was at races when I was still in my mom's stomach. It's just kind of one of those deals where I inherited it. As soon as I was born, I was hooked. I was pushing toy cars around. I was running around in the yard playing with race cars. But and this is where we're at now. So it's been a cool journey. I wouldn't change it for the world, man. It's been awesome. Being able to travel to 30-something states and race at different tracks. It's been awesome. And you guys will get to come along and check it out soon. So I'm gonna give you a little rundown of what's in the shop right now. We have a few cars. I'm also gonna go over to my grandpa's shop later. I'll give you a rundown on my car. What's the plans for it, what happened to that car, and why it's at my grandpa's house. But for now, let's just take a look around in here and I'll show you zip tie, heifer. This car right here is a Chevelle that belongs to Kenneth Goldie. It's his little street car. Yeah, the Duck and the Malibu, and there's some other stuff that I need to show you guys. Hercules is out in the trailer. Let's check it out. Let's start here. This car, it's called Kaiser Blade. You'll see it on the show a few times. It is a Malibu. It's got, I believe it's a 582 big block in it. 2 kits. Runs good. No, it might just be one. I think it's just a 1 kit car. Yeah, that car's only got 1 gun on it. This motor over here is another one of JJ's pieces. Just a conventional big block. I'm not going to tell you how big it is, because you never know what it's going to end up in. But this is the Chevelle of Kenneth Goldie's. It's a 565. It's got an F2 Pro Charger on it. CNS blow-through carburetor. Runs on E85. The cool thing about this car is it has not been cut up. It's still everything. I mean, the only thing that's fiberglass is the hood. That's it. That's all. Everything. It's got a vinyl top that's original. Everything. Oh, this thing makes some power. So they put it on a dyno and it made like 1,500 to the rear tires. So of course it's heavy. It's 4,000 pounds. But if you don't believe me, look, it's got leather seats in it, front and back, all original interior. Used to be a nitrous car, and it ran low. No, it ran mid. It was 560s or 570s or so when I had the nitrous combination. Man, it's a beautiful car. Beautiful car. So yeah, this car has been on the show a few times, but it's never been on the show with this setup. This is a fairly new deal here. Still learning it. Hadn't even raced it with this engine in it yet. Just drove it around and ran into some problems. We got to figure out what's wrong with it. This car, it's called the Ugly Duck. It's Mallory Goldie's car, which is Kenneth's daughter. Pretty fast hot rod. It's an all aluminum small block car with a couple kits of nitrous. Let's see if you can see up in there. Nothing special, nothing special, just regular old stuff. But we know how to make it work. We know how to make it run. JJ's good at what he does. My dad's good at what he does. All right, and there's the one you've been wanting to see, I'm sure. Heifer and zip tie. Let's go over there. I know some people hadn't got to see these cars up close and personal. Well, now you can. So this car's got a lot of history. A lot of history. From racing Murder Nova in Memphis and dragging the bumper all the way down the road and almost hitting a tree. Several wrecks. It's got a lot of history. And a lot of people know this car. A lot of people know this car. And it's fast. It's really fast for what it is. I would say it's one of the fastest small block cars on the street, without a doubt. Without a doubt, one of the fastest small block cars on the street. I don't think there's a small block car on the street that can run with this car. Just my opinion, on a real street. I've seen too many try and I've seen too many get beat. And I've seen it beat a lot of big blocks. So yeah, this car's fast. It ain't no joke, and it works. It works real good. Y'all seen it. And then this is Trish's pride and joy right here. This thing. This is one of the fastest cars on the Memphis Street Outlaws crew. You get beside this thing, you better have your stuff right. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Trisha can drive the wheels off of it. I mean, she's as good of a driver as you'll find anywhere. And this thing's it's got some power. I ain't gonna tell you what's all underneath the hood, but just gonna let you know, if you get beside it, you better have your stuff right. Maybe one day I'll get to tell you what she runs for an engine. I will tell you this, it used to have a 706 in it. Used to, not anymore. Whether they went smaller or bigger or whatever, I'll let y'all figure that out, but it used to have a 706 in it. And car works good. Nice car too. It's built pretty well. David Monday did a little bit of repair on it after it got kicked off the trailer. JJ the boss. There's another look at this car. Yeah, there's stuff everywhere in here, man. This shop stays a mess because there's so much going on all the time. We'll go ahead and give these guys a shout out real quick. If you need any transmission work, from turbo 400s to power glides to anything you high performance, I mean, Rossler, that's the way to go. Those guys are awesome, and they make some really, really nice stuff. So let's go take a look over here. So I'm going to give you guys a little insight as to, you know, our shop, things we have going on right now. Actually, these cars are in here. I forgot to tell you this because we're going to California for an arm drop race. It'll be in January. Oh, I think it's like the 13th or something. I'll have to double check that. I'll fix that. But yeah, January in California, Irwindale drag strips, where it's going to be Irwindale, California, and we're going to go do a JJ's arm drop race, and I'm going to take you guys with me, so you'll get to see that whole deal. It's pretty cool how it all goes down. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. Yeah, Dad. My dad's built motors for years, so he's usually got some projects going on. Oh, this is Hercules' new intake manifold. One of these days it'll get put on the car. This bad boy is what I wanted to show you guys. It's a aluminum PBM small block Chevy block. That is probably going to end up going in my car. Right now it has a 406 cubic inch small block Chevy, which is in pieces, and I'll show you why. But that's what was in the car. Had 2 kits of nitrous on it. Car ran great. I did really well. Got down deep in a couple street races, deep in a couple arm drops. Never pulled out a win. I've only had that car for about a year, so It's fairly new. And I was leaning on it hard because I was outgunned motor-wise for sure. And I ended up hurting the motor. Oh, I don't know where the hurt rod and piston is. Well, anyways, I just melted the piston. That's all I did. Sprayed a little too much, a little bit too much timing. If I can find it, I'll show it to you. But yeah, this is the pieces that come out of the 408. Yeah, this is a pretty simple build, nothing crazy. Eagle rods, had good nitrous pistons in it. Eagle crankshaft, budget build. But the thing ran really good. It ran really good for what it was, no doubt. These are the heads that was on it. Dart 2, I believe they're 230s. They've had a little bit of port work on them, nothing crazy, it's hand done. So the motor that I had in my car is easily cheap enough for anybody to build. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how fast it went because it might go back in the car if I can't come up with the money I need to get this other engine done. But it ran good, and it was a cheap, fairly cheap build. So here's the oh, let me show you the intake manifold that was on that car, or on that engine. Yeah, Nitrous Express, 2 kits. Yep. But here's the plans. I want to put together the all aluminum motor, right? It's going to be 427 cubic inches, and it's going to be a bad dude. So it's got these heads right here are Brodix spread port dash 12 heads. It's a nice head for a boosted small block application. So with that being said, it's going to have a Pro Charger on it. That's the plan. If I can't come up with the money to make it happen, then I will just go ahead and put the nitrous motor back in. But the plan is to put this 427 all aluminum small block together, throw a F1X12 Pro Charger on it, and send it. So if I do that, everybody in small tires will notice. Everybody on the street, everybody. If I keep the nitrous motor, I'm still gonna come for you, but you might outrun me. So, yep, that's the plan. As far as my car goes, but these are a pretty nice head. They were actually on Hercules. Hercules had, before it has the big block it's got now, it had a 380 cubic inch small block in it with an F1X12 blower. And that was a smaller motor, and it ran really good, 380 cubic inches, and it went high fours at 3,200 pounds on 36 pounds of boost. Had more in it. It definitely had more in it, but the engine let go. This is what happened. This is what happened to Hercules' small block. Yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. That is called rod bearing failure. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, it chewed the cap up pretty good too. Blued it up. It got some heat in it. That's why we pulled the small block. We got into a time constraint situation where we had to get something done because we had to film. So I started doing some digging online, and me and Dad had always considered doing a big block. Now my dad has always been a small block guy. As long as I can remember, he's prided himself with outrunning big inch motors with little bitty ones. And he's good at it. He's done it for years. He's made small blocks run really well. But kind of the writing was on the wall, starting to get a little outpowered. So I did some digging and I found a big block, a super nice one. It was all aluminum, 540 cubic inch motor. A guy had it in an Outlaw 10.5 car that ran 420s at 50 pounds of boost. So that's the motor that's in Hercules now. It's a 540 inch all aluminum motor. We don't run it at 50 pounds of boost. It sees about 33. So on a street, there's no way you're going to use 50 pounds. If you're on a real street, you're not going to use, 50 pounds of boost. It's not going to happen on a real street. Now, some people race on concrete that's been prepped and sprayed and as good as a racetrack. Yeah, sure, whatever. If that's your thing, then that's your thing, but that's not a real street. I mean, it depends. Are we talking good surface or, we race on some pretty shitty roads, man. That's no lie. Pretty shitty roads. And we can get down them. That's kind of the bread and butter of the Memphis Street Outlaws. You can take these cars and unload them on any road in America. Because I promise you, we've been on one of the worst. Promise you, we've been on one of the worst. So I know if we can get down that road, we can get down about any road in this country. And all of our guys will find a way to get down that road, guaranteed. Guaranteed. But this is a little dirt track motor. And the LS motor. Yep. Well, that's all, I guess. It's a tour of our little shop here. Nothing crazy, but there is some cool stuff that goes on in here. Y'all get to see it. You all get to see it. Oh, here's a pretty cool picture. It's one of my dad's old race cars he used to have. It was a pretty quick car. It was kind of ugly though. And then that's the car I grew up watching my dad race. Of course, he bracket raced it. It wasn't nothing fast. He was in his 20s. I was born when he was 19. So, yeah, that car ran, I don't know, I think it ran the 7s, 650s. Just a little bracket car, but I grew up watching that car. And then here is a picture from this last year in Idaho. My dad was driving Hercules, and I was driving Buster. JJ flagged the race. I got out on him. I got out on him about a half a car to a car. And then right when the power started coming in, I had a pretty aggressive nitrous tune in it because I knew I was going to need it to outrun Hercules in that car. And as soon as the nitrous started to flow, it lit the tires up and kicked me around. I straightened it back up and tried to get back in it, and it did it again. So it was too late then. But yeah, this is the shop. There'll be a lot of stuff going on. Well, here it is. Cold-hearted Camaro. It's a 1979 Z28. It's a back half car, stock front suspension. As you can tell, there ain't no motor in it. Front end's sitting way high. Yeah, this is it. Car works really well. It's not a bad piece. Needs some work, needs some updating here and there. I'll get around to it, but it works good. So I'm gonna put some power to it, maybe get this Pro Charger piece put together. Oh, I got some headers I'm gonna build to come out the fender right here. Probably gonna cut the cage out of this thing and redo it. Oh, I really don't like the cages in it. Yep, I could weld better than that, but it's a cage nonetheless. So if I have to leave it in there for this year, then that's fine. But I want to cut it out and get it redone. But it's a fairly well built car. It works good. 4-link. Back half 4-link car. Oh, she weighs about 2,600 pounds, 2,550. Put my fat butt in it, and it weighs about 29, 28. So I'm about 230 pounds. Yep, but this is it. And I'll tell you a little bit about why it's sitting here. It's been sitting in here for months now. Like I said, I burnt the motor up, and when I took the motor apart, I started driving for Buster with green Camaro, Buster Racing Pack. I'm sure you guys have seen that car. If not, I'll drop a picture in here. Car runs good. It's a 582 big block Chevy. Spraying about 1,000. Car runs really good. But I put this car on the back burner for that reason. Oh, it's about time to get it back out and start getting it back together. So you guys are gonna go along through that whole journey. I'm gonna make a whole series about building this car out. We're putting the motor in it, getting the headers built. I got a guy named Harold Furo Racing Headers. He's gonna come down here and hook me up with a set of stainless headers for this thing. Let me know, should I put zoomies, bull horns, just a fender exit? What should I do exhaust wise? I kind of like the teardrop, so I was thinking about putting a bullhorn with a little teardrop coming out the edge of it. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. That's about it. You know, I'd like to get the car body worked and painted, new windows, all that stuff. That's little stuff that I can do after I get it running. But that's the main thing. There's a car coming. But yeah, that's the main thing I want to do is get this thing running, get the motor mocked up, get all the little stuff I need to get done to it. Oh, if there's anything you guys want to know about this car or any of the other cars that I've showed you today, drop it down below, let me know. I'll be sure to answer whatever questions I can. And stay tuned, because I'm going to do a full video over Hercules. That car just got a complete makeover top to bottom, and let me tell you, it's nice. It's super nice. So I'll do that soon and let you guys in on all that. But for now, I just wanted to give you a once over of my car and introduce you guys to the cold-hearted Camaro. That's what I call it. Why it got its name, it's kind of a funny story actually. Me and a buddy was riding around one night, and y'all will meet him probably. His name's Bubba. And I said, man, what should I name this car? And he said Cold Hearted. Started thinking about it, kicking around ideas, and I liked it. I liked the name, I liked the theme. The car's white, it's got blue lights all over it. You'll see that too. Kind of goes along with the car. So I think it'll work out nice. But yeah, that's the end goal with this thing, is just to get it running for now, get it back out there and racing. And once I get it running, anybody on a 29.5 small tire, you got action on the street. You got action. Maybe 28s, we'll see once I get that going. I just like to race. I'll race anybody, you know. I like to race. I'm not that person that's picky about who I race, what I race. Sure, the car is not going to have as much power as some cars, but that's a part of racing, you know. I don't have the money some people have. I'm not rich. My family's not rich by any means at all. We do with what we got. We've been racing. I've been racing my whole life. I started out in junior dragsters, did really well in junior dragsters. Oh, moved up to a full-size rail, ran about 5.0s, 4.90s. I did that for a while. I've done several aspects of racing. Drove a couple dirt track cars. I just love to race. But yeah, that's the plan. You guys will be there along the way, so be looking out for the California arm drop video coming mid-January to late January. Also be looking out for the near future for the Hercules video to drop. And once this video drops, please share it, because I need you guys' support if I'm going to make this happen. I can provide a lot of inside information about what we do, who we race, where we race, give you in-depth videos of all the cars, stuff that you ain't seen yet. So I'm in a good position to provide you guys good content, but I need your help. I got to get some viewers, got to get some people on this page, on this channel, excuse me. And let's do this thing with you guys' support, and I think we can make something cool out of this deal. I'll take you along for every race that I go to personally, everything I do to this car, Hercules, the whole nine. So you guys will be there right beside me. With that being said, you guys have a great day. I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments section talking about this video, and till next time, let's do it.